Hello pilots, and welcome back to the Pocket Planes Strategy Guide. Today, we'll take a look at planes. What makes planes good and bad, how to use each type of plane, and which planes to use for maximum profit. Let's depart. In the game, planes have different parameters, and for newcomers, that can get a bit overwhelming. Even some pros overlook some parameters of certain planes. So let's take a look at them. I'll head over to Airpedia, located in the menu. The Airpedia shows all planes currently in the game, and as of 2025, there are a lot of planes, starting from small Gophers and Navigators all the way to the Cloudliners and Cyclones. While you may be tempted to think that the planes at the top are the weaker planes and will never be used in the future, that's not the case. In fact, if you only play with bigger jets at high levels, it can actually hurt progress. Almost all planes have their use cases, and we will discuss the individual use cases in future episodes. For now, let's open a smaller jet, say the Navigator. Note, there are 2 to 3 types of the same build: passenger and cargo, and sometimes medium, which is both passenger and cargo. Navigator has 3. Let's open Navigator, and we can see a ton of information. The pilot and name box are both empty because I haven't bought it, so we cannot name planes or assign pilots to them yet, but everything else is the same as when I buy it. The first major parameter is an airplane's capacity. It tells you how many spaces for jobs this plane has. In the case of Navigator, it's 2. Notice that the text says it can hold 2 passengers and 0 cargo. Note, medium planes hold half passenger, half cargo. However, some planes, like Mohawk M, hold unequal parts passengers and cargo. Keep that in mind when buying planes. The next parameter is speed. This is, well, the speed at which the aircraft travels. Slower planes like the Kangaroo travel at low 100 miles per hour, while the fastest plane in the game, the Concorde, can travel to upwards of 400 miles per hour. The speed will obviously tell how fast a plane will travel to the destination airport. If a theoretical plane travels at 200 miles per hour and the distance to travel is 600 miles, the plane will travel the distance in 3 hours of real time, which is very slow. If you have slower planes, you will progress slower, as you will have to wait for every single plane to land before taking off again. However, faster planes usually cost more, so you have the choice in spending more per plane to get efficiency, or spend less for less efficiency but have more planes. Next up, range. The range of a plane determines how far a plane can fly. So for instance, this Kangaroo cannot fly that far, which is seen by the radius of this green circle, while a wider range Fogbuster has a much larger option of airports. Keep the range of each plane in mind, as a job's price is calculated based on the distance from the origin airport. Next, the weight. The weight determines how heavy the plane is. Now, this doesn't affect speed or capacity, but it does affect cost. If flying a plane, the profit of the flight is calculated as follows: the cumulative sum of all jobs, and the number is divided by the weight of the plane. So, if you load up 5 passengers on 2 planes, one weighing 2 tons, while the other weighs 5 tons, the 5-ton plane will have a much smaller profit than the more lightweight plane. Finally, the class. This is a very important parameter, as it directly tells you if this plane can land in a set airport or not. In the game, there are black, blue, and red airports. Black airports are Class 1 airports, while the blue are Class 2 and the red are Class 3. The higher the class an airport is, the more jobs and layovers it gives. So, if you want to land your Sequoia in Miami, you can't, as the airport class is too low, in-game meaning that the runway of the airport is too short for the plane. The Sequoia can only land in a class 3. Airport, like neighboring Mexico City. Whenever buying a plane next, consider all of a plane's parameters. This will determine your strategy and play style of this game. Good luck, pilots!